Ooh, yeah. Why don't you do the intro, Nick?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You want me to do the intro?
Let's do it.
Welcome back, everybody. I get to do the intro.
Oh no, Nick's doing the intro.
You know what? I feel like this week should be kind of like a zoom out week.
It's a zoom out week.
If there's anything that we should do
Yes.
for you and me, because a lot of times if we got nothing to fucking... This week was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of shit happening. And we're like, no, we need to fucking zoom out for a second.
It's fucking July. We made it at least halfway through the year. Cheers to that. Oh, still can't reach each other, but you know, it's mental cheers.
It's a great table, though.
This
It's a great table.
this is
I would keep the table
rather than
cheers.
be able to cheers.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Luna is trying to hop into my lap, but it is not working. Luna, there's a table. You're going to slam your head on the marble, and mommy's going to have a stress panic.
We're going to get in the van and go to the goddamn emergency room.
She's not too bright when it comes to risking her life to get in someone's lap.
She's fit through some pretty narrow spaces, though.
But then she does slam her skull on things a lot, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
You stay? Oh, she did. Oh, still managed to hit her head on the microphone, though. Oh, you good?
What did you want to talk about?
Well, this is one of those days where I decided I wasn't going to come with a specific topic. I wanted to keep it open to flow with what's actually happening in our lives, because everybody who listens to this podcast has something going on in their life too. And I was like, how wild would it be if it sounds like we often are encountering the same things together on this journey. So that's what we're doing here. We're back with another episode. This is House of Herby, isn't it? Is that the podcast?
House of Clerby.
This is House of Herby, your safe space for bad bitchery and self-discovery. Wow. And we have been self-discovering in this house recently.
Have we?
It feels like something's happening. I don't know exactly what it is. It's probably just another upgrade frequency thing happening in our brains, because
vibrations.
There's the Schumann resonances. Have you heard about these?
No, I haven't.
Me neither. I heard about it like 2 days ago, and I wanted to say it was like a conspiracy theory. But
is this the thing that we were talking about while I was like super tired?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is most things.
One of the days this what was it, last Saturday or something? A couple Saturdays ago now. I took a nap in the middle of the day and then like couldn't really wake up.
Well, I'm going to explain to you why.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so this is a theory.
Deep nap.
It's a theory as to why the Schumann resonances are like a measurement of the frequency of the core of the earth. That's very much oversimplifying it.
Okay.
But they measure these on a chart, kind of like they measure for like earthquakes and stuff.
Okay.
And at some point like a week ago, it switched into a new resonance, like a whole different frequency is going on. And all the spiritual folks are saying that this is the transition into 5D. Living in 5D, bitch, kick it up. When I ride like Phoenix. Yeah. So it's happening, and the result of this is people are having headaches, and they're feeling like time isn't
even real.
Right. Like they say that like we lost a few hours, like consciously, like because it was beep.
That was during the nap.
It just like flipped into
a
new
blipped.
We got blipped, and during the nap, exactly. You couldn't wake up.
I feel like couldn't
maybe
get going
time like stops when there's a frequency upgrade or something. So that was cool to read
woke
about.
Up in the void, and they were like, "You shouldn't be up right now."
Exactly.
So that's why I was so tired.
Did you see 2 blue-faced aliens? Because that was definitely the switch.
Blue face?
Yeah, blue face. So yeah, there is definitely frequencies changing in the core of the earth, and then we have just like we're finishing our record. We're finishing recording.
We are
the next group of songs.
Just started teasing some new shit.
Yep. I know you artists that are listening know what this is. Like when you finish your fashion collection or you finish your art collection or whatever it is you're working on, and it's like, man, you spent all this time on it. And then this is the point when Wendy Parr is like, is it even good?
Yeah.
You know, we hit that like 2 weeks ago, we hit that and we were like, I don't know if it's good. And
this
we
is
revisit.
Fucking terrible.
Exactly. And then you're like, no, fuck it. Let's post some clips onto social media and see if we can start getting people excited about Housewife.
Let's put a Speedo on and go hang out outdoors. See what happens.
Yes. And then we also I needed to shoot the album cover because I was like, I don't even know where I'm heading right now. I don't even know who I am anymore. My frequency's been upgraded to 5D according to these Schumann resonances.
Yeah. And it is interesting. We've been learning so much about ourselves through this process too, because we're trying to a different strategy this time, just because we haven't really been having any strategy.
Right.
Really.
We don't have strategy.
Well, just like making things and putting them out, and then just see what catches as it's out, and then just like slowly promote that. But
Right.
we're trying something a little different this time, just to fucking switch it up. And it is forcing us to kind of like complete things earlier than we normally would. So like you're saying, seeing the story of what you're trying to tell prior to it coming out.
Right. And then having to recap the story of how you made it to the audience.
So we're like, as we're starting to make stuff, we're realizing, we don't know what the fuck, like, it's forcing us to try to visually find ways to tell the story.
Right. Yeah. No, this has been, I will say,
and it's frustrating. You got to learn some new shit. It's like, it feels like your legs are asleep and you're trying to like run away from the sleep demon.
It's such a great reminder to our audience that if you're a creative person, it sometimes it just bees like that. You have to like struggle and be awkward and fail. Even when you're so experienced and you've done this a million times, it's never quite the same.
Yeah.
That's what I always say when I grab Pinterest references and I'm like, we should shoot this Vogue cover from 1982. It's like, it will never look anything like it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, at least that's a good thing with creative life, is that it's something new all the time.
Totally.
But it's very uncomfortable if you can't keep your perspective and zoom out. So I think we call this a zoom out episode.
It's a zoom out. It's the zoom out episode.
This is where we get to bitch and complain about having a creative life, and hopefully y'all can relate. But also, like, look at the other side of it.
It's of course, it's amazing. But like everything else, and this is...
It feels good to complain. It's soothing. As long as we don't stay here longer than one episode, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's like anything else. The brain finds incredible ways to turn something good into something bad. So even if you have... It's just how it is. So you just kind of... Or at least for me personally, it's like as soon as something is going well or something is like... You find ways to then... be like, it should be better.
Yes.
Right.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. And that's the big joke. Like, no, it's never actually going to be enough. You're never going to find it. My
issue now that I'm noticing is when something great happens, I just go, okay. And I just push past it. Isn't that so sad? Mm-hmm. This is something I've been doing recently, and I've noticed it. And I'm like, how do you slow down and savor when something good happens, something unexpected, even small shit?
You got to zoom out, bro.
It's a zoom out episode. Let's go.
Put your feet up. Take your pants off.
We are zooming out.
Tune in, drop out. What does he say?
Tune in. Wait, tap on. Tap up.
Tap in.
This was the tagline for the psilocybin boys in the 70s, I think.
Timothy Leary.
Yeah.
He was the Harvard professor turned acid promoter, really. LSD
basically,
guy.
Researcher.
But
they kicked him out of Harvard because they were like, no, you can't be giving people mushrooms and studying it. That's illegal.
Well, I think there was a lot of lines. There were a lot of lines that were crossed or grayed as far as like student drug usage,
right?
And, like things like that. And it's interesting talking.
That must have been hard, especially back in the day, like when you did things against the grain.
Yeah, dude,
this was like, that's why you went to India, probably.
This was like early mid 60s.
Or that was Ram Dass. Timothy Leary's buddy at Harvard was
Richard Alpert,
but he changed his name to Ram Dass when he finally met his guru out in India. Yeah. There's an amazing book that Ram Dass has. If y'all have never heard of this, please tell me if you have. I'm curious. How witchy is my community? It's called Be Here Now, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's this, it's like $15. It's a book made of like recycled cardboard. It's pretty astonishing piece because they wanted to spread it to as many people as possible. But it's all these hand-drawn illustrations of like LSD consciousness, and then, being, because finally, so he got kicked out of Harvard. He goes to India to seek a guru to explain to him what happens when you're on psychedelics. Like I want the answers, right? He really went for it. And he met a guru. He gave the guru like 18 tabs of acid or something.
Yeah.
Because he was like, give me everything.
Let me see what happens. And the guy is just like up on
sat there silently
just like
for
steam like pouring off him
hours. And then he finally like opened his eyes at the end of the trip, and he was like, you don't need these. You don't need it.
He must have been fucking tripping balls, though.
Right?
In all seriousness, he must have just been up there like, don't show him anything.
So wild. So anyway, this book...
he probably was able to completely...
transcend it.
Yeah.
So this is, and come on, this is the stuff we nerd out about this all day. So this is a fun book to read if you're like, pondering the meaning of life.
Someone was asking me recently, they were like why? Like, why why do you give a fuck about this, or why are you interested? And I was like, oh, that's a really good question. I don't know, but I think what it is it's kind of like, I kind of learned early on, this is the lowest common denominator of, people who have their shit together, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? People become enlightened, or whatever the word is. And this is, they all talk about the same basic kind of concepts. So I was like, oh, interesting. Well, that's probably the truth then.
Yeah.
If everybody's landing at that, that's where everybody gets to, right? That's at the base foundation. So I was like, oh, well, let me check that out for a little while and see if that starts to resonate, or if I can start to understand that, then probably, everything else will be easier. Right?
You would hope so.
You would hope so. Or things are less of a big deal.
Yeah.
Or more, you're able to zoom out.
Zoom out episode. It's become such a thing. Oh, we have a t-shirt then already for this episode.
Zoom out?
Zoom out.
Nice.
Zoom out. Oh, zoom out. That's cute for
Zoom
a t-shirt.
Out. That is cute for a
in
t-shirt.
like our big chunky letters.
Let's write a song.
Okay.
Alex.
Write a song called Zoom Out.
Call the AI.
Oh, we should get the AI to write our songs. I'm getting tired. It said no artist ever.
So glad you brought that up.
All artists are
so
scared and worried about AI, which I totally understand. And I think it's awful that these first AI bots are, ultimately AI is just mimicking humans anyway, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. It learns by...
Shoot, I learned by mimicking humans.
Right.
So yeah, I hope someday it's not so... stealing from artists like bits and pieces and throwing together. So AI, people are concerned because it's literally stealing elements of real artist work and putting it together into something else. Mm-hmm. And I think they can kind of tell like where it was taken from. That's why it's not good. It's not very sophisticated.
Right. So, and I'm not really worried about it it's going to be, eventually it's going to continue. It's learning at an incredibly exponential rate.
Okay. Yeah.
Much.
Yeah.
So,
but I asked one of the bots to like write me a song, and it was the worst lyrics I've ever read. I was like, I would not. You couldn't pay me enough money to record this song.
Yeah, it doesn't understand lyrics. So I think also it's going to be anybody that can make things really particular and very niche. I don't know if anything is really going to be able to
copy that. Yeah, we have some
but
friends who are graphic designers, and they were tasked with using AI recently. And so what I learned through hearing about their experience is that the way creatives can use AI now is by learning what words to feed it.
Yes,
to get the result.
It's going to be about the programmer.
It's the hope for my creative babies out there is that we are going to be able to bring to life the things in our brain in a faster way, but we're still going to have to fix stuff. Like it's still going to need the human touch to not only feed it the words, make the fantasy, but then like our friends were saying, like it would, or you've seen how some of them are like missing fingernails, and it's like
they have 6 fingers.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so it's still, that's exciting to me still. That's my zoom out for the week.
Yeah.
It'd be nice at some point we didn't have to shoot music videos. We could make like my Queen Castle and, somewhere in the metaverse, and we could float there in our VR headsets and hang out.
No, it is interesting. I saw a meme somebody sent me where it was like, don't worry guys, we're going to be fine. The creative people still need to tell the AI what they want.
Right.
Or sorry, the people at the jobs.
Oh, the people,
the CEOs are still going to need to describe what they want.
Exactly, and they can't do it.
They're always like, nobody can describe what they want at all. Yeah, it's like just like a little bit more like this, but like John Mayer, but like with flutes.
Oh man.
But like skateboarding.
These are real requests that you get from,
and you're just like, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I totally get it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
so
nobody has it, like trying to get people to describe what they want they have no fucking idea what they want.
Yep.
It's funny.
It is pretty fascinating. I don't think that AI is going to dictate cultural trends either. I don't think it's cool enough for that. Like, I don't know if you can, I've never seen someone replicate that.
Well, I wonder if
sometimes as a joke, you're like, wow, look what happened when, look at this photograph. remember those memes?
I love those memes.
The
look at this graph.
Like somebody auto-tuned it and it was like, okay, a computer made this funnier.
Yeah.
Well,
and it was sort of an accident that it took off.
I think that's a person in a basement just like spending
just
time
messing
on
with
the
it.
audio
Right,
file.
right. But I'm saying AI could not have done that,
Those are so funny. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else? Okay. Vine. Do we all remember Vine?
Of course we remember Vine.
Dude. I sometimes every couple of months will go on like those 10-minute Vine compilations on YouTube.
Yeah. It's nice. That's a nice zoom out feature. Like
that's
if you really need to like remove yourself from your art for a while and get a fresh perspective.
Dude, these kids were telling 7 seconds, or what was it, 6 seconds?
Yeah.
They were telling 6-second stories. Like complete, and you got the whole
thing,
and it was funny, and it was like very, very particular. It was
well, even as we're approaching this new like round of promotion for the new music, we are having to like learn new camera tricks, learn new editing tricks, learn more about, because now we're like, let's shoot in outside locations because it's more epic, and it's like the sun is not in the right part of the sky.
Move the sun.
The lighting doesn't look right at 2 p.m. So we have to like get together earlier and shoot.
Shadow AF.
Have to put on like a ball gown in the middle of the street at 8 a.m. It's like really, we're getting so specific in what we're doing, and that starts to wear on you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it can be exhausting because it's like it's constantly. We talked about this before too. Like being an artist today, it is so many. You have to pick the wheat and grow the wheat and mold the bread and roll the fucking rolling pin and grow the tree and you know what I mean? It's so many fucking things, and it's real. It's a lot of energy, and especially when as soon as you get set up in that thing, it all changes. Mm-hmm. So then you like she's saying, we have to like start learning different ways to shoot it, more like the production side and things like that. Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
And then I'm styling. So I wrote the music. We recorded all this music, and I'm trying to like evolve myself, like at a personal level.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, wow, this is like my purpose is to be here to say this to my audience. And then I think I want to dress this way because those are the videos that do well. And that's that clothes that I feel most comfortable in. So I'm like switching out my wardrobe. I'm like experimenting with new makeup looks. I'm like, I made these earrings that I'm wearing. If you're on our patreon.com/House of Herby, you can see them. But you know what I mean? Like it's
I think I've talked about this before too. Like my entire relationship with social media had to completely, it was really fucking toxic.
It got real bad.
Yeah. And I had to completely let it go.
It's nice to be honest about this because I think a lot of people don't talk about this.
Social media is really, if you're not conscious of what's going on in your brain and your habits when you're using it, it can be, is dangerous the right word?
Dangerous.
Well, it's wild. And it's funny. Like we're just now starting to see all these articles pop up. It's like, oh, maybe social media is bad for the kids, or maybe they're being online for this long or whatever is bad for you, or maybe it's everybody. The kids having tremendous anxiety and depression and all these things, and it's like, well, yeah, nobody told them this was fake. You know what I mean? Right. Nobody said this is just content made in these little rooms somewhere. So if you have a toxic relationship with social media, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to say.
That's how they made it. Yeah.
I don't know if that's how they made it, but that's how, of course, humans like.
Is it because it's so early in the life of social media?
We are learning how to use it as a culture.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Like full smackdown.
There's no rules.
Yeah.
The people in charge of making the rules have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
At all.
That's so wild.
And it evolves so fast. But there is something like, it is fun to also have to do this. And if as long as you just kind of, the only reason we get exhausted is when we've just been going too hard for too long, and we have no zoom out.
Right.
And you got to fucking see
make a zoom out episode.
See what you're doing, and just like chill for a couple days and just let the ideas come back to you. Well, Wendy was saying in our episode, I was re-listening to that too. That was a great episode.
Oh man, Wendy Parr.
But she was just saying how like letting things come to you more.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very different way to live.
It's a fucking great way to live. Yeah.
And I'm trying to shift into that now.
Right.
And it's it's just been a weird week.
Yeah.
For that reason, because I feel like not myself, but I'm like becoming more myself, but I don't know her yet. I sang on my story the other day, I sang the song Farewell, that song from EP 9. And this, if y'all haven't heard this one, it's a great one for like, if you're going through something similar, it's a transformation song. You're looking in the mirror and saying goodbye to the old you. And I was like, dang, like this is really still relevant. I wonder how many times in your life you go through this.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's different. Maybe some people only transform like half of a time and some people do like 20.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done 20 or something. Tired.
Yeah, you do it a lot.
I do it a lot.
You do it
And-
more than other people.
And I think, well, could I consciously stop? You know, I'm tired. Like, can I stop here and just be this girl for a while? I don't know if we have control over that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I had the
probably not.
pleasure of being on my girl Blue, Deja Blue, her podcast, and she was reading my gene keys, which are like, if you guys have heard, there's a book called Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, and it's kind of like a mixture of a bunch of shit, like astrology, I Ching, which is like kind of the Tao vibes. And he basically like received all this channeled information in like the span of a few days or something, or weeks or something, and wrote this book of 64 different profiles or different gene keys that you can have on your, it creates a chart for you. It's cute. You can go to the website and we'll put it in the show notes. But what I learned from Blue, cause she like studied this shit and is friends with the dude. Richard, who does the
Richard
gene.
Gene?
Yes. So she was like, you have to have alone time. Like every day if you can get it. You're not going to know what your life purpose is until you're much older. Mm-hmm. And like those two things like profoundly changed the way I'm looking at my life, you know, because I felt them to be true.
Wasn't Dancer in there too or something?
So yeah, there's so much. If you guys do your chart for the gene key thing, it's just pretty fascinating. It's just like astrology. You have to know your birth time and location.
Oh, okay.
And date. But it was, yeah, she said, I'm a dancer. And she was like, oh, you don't actually have to dance. She's like, but I have seen you dance and it's very particular.
It's like movement. Yeah, it is
it's
particular.
very particular. And
Yeah.
I was like, thank you for noticing, you know. And she was like, an entrepreneur is like what we'd call a dancer, because you're so adaptable and you're able to do all these things. And that was another one of my keys, was that I have to learn to work with groups. I have this thing where like I'm so capable alone, but like no one will ever experience my creative capacity if I can't work with groups.
Sure.
So I was asking her how to do that. And so we had so many great conversations. Shout outs to Blue for having me on your podcast. That was so fun. Mm-hmm. And the next week I get to do a cannabis podcast, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that'll
this
be fun.
podcasting game it's not so bad.
Oh, you like it all of a
I
sudden?
really like it. It feels like we're like all these little beehives of different interests and different, and some of us cross over into each other's beehives. It's like, oh, we listen to House of Herby.
What kind of honey you got over here?
What flavor you got? We have lavender infused honey over here. That's what we have. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
But it's hard to zoom out. Like literally this week we're in Nebraska. So we're like, woo, like getting
some fucking corn.
Getting some corn, getting free. It's like the 4th of July. My hometown is the 4th of July capital of Nebraska. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but a town of 7,000 turns into 1 million for one
Really?
day.
1 million people come into the town?
Yes.
I guess I'll see.
You're about to see.
Oh, you've never done a
Yeah.
4th of July in
I've
Nebraska?
never done it. 4th of July in Nebraska.
Oh, that was
We'll
extra
work on that
bad.
later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. We just
got
shame
some
each other
good,
after the podcast is over. We're like, you suck.
fucking key were you in?
Your earrings were weird today. Thanks.
Yeah, let's make out later. Mm-hmm. One of these days.
Someday we'll kiss for the first time.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's
Let me get my chapstick.
It's going to be awesome. Oh, your chapstick. That's so weird.
I don't know.
Just put
Just
it on.
layers of chapstick.
Oh,
Can't even touch my lips.
Let me get my deodorant.
It's so greasy.
Chris.
The lips just slip right off.
Just slip right off.
I cannot
on
kiss
second
now.
thought, I cannot kiss that man.
I think I'm going to try to make a lip balm next.
Oh, you want to make a lip balm?
Sounds kind of fun. We're over here being a housewife. I am getting an air fryer.
Oh, yeah?
This topic could take over the entire episode. If we start talking about air fryers.
Tell me about the fucking air. So I'm supposed to know about the air fryers.
People-
I
You
don't
don't
know
have
shit
one.
about air fryers.
Feels like something you guys would already
You have one, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Alex, tell us about the air
Do you
fresh
use
air
it more
fryers.
than your actual convection oven?
Listen, I got an air fryer that's like, it's a microwave that doubles as an air fryer.
Oh,
What?
stop it.
What do you
Quite-
mean?
quite convenient.
Stop
It's
right
a
there.
microwave fryer?
I can get chicken nuggets made real fast.
Wow.
So how do you make chicken nuggets? What does that mean?
in an air fryer.
In an air fryer? It's essentially just like a fast oven.
Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
it's, like,
so you still
healthier.
it's the pre-made chicken nuggets.
It's
not like
healthier
still
and
Morning
faster,
Star.
and it probably uses less energy
it's
than
not
an
like
oven.
you drop a piece of napkin in there. And it turns
Here's my
into a
favorite thing
chicken
to do in
nugget.
the air fryer.
Okay.
You take some asparagus.
Uh-oh.
You cover it. You trim them to your desired length.
Okay.
Cover them in
Circumcise
some olive oil, salt and pepper. Air fry that shit for 10 minutes, and
Oh.
it's crispy and so good.
No.
Ooh, can we do that with zucchini?
Yes. Oh yeah. You can do it with all vegetables. I just
love a
the
good grilled
asparagus.
zucchini.
So I feel a conspiracy brewing here because if an air fryer is faster and healthier than an oven, is everyone going to get rid of their ovens?
You know, I haven't used an oven in a while.
What does an
So
air? How
I
does
just
the-
spent a lot of money on new appliances, and I was thinking,
I'm gonna need a call back.
no, but
What?
it's a real thing. This device is like replacing people's shit. We need that and like a Ninja
does it work?
blender, right? That's like all you need now. Mm-hmm. You can
Yeah.
make soups and sauces and all these
The
things.
Ninja Creamer.
You can
Is it cream? It's called the Ninja Cream, right?
I don't know.
see. I don't keep
Sounds
up on the
sexual.
names, but if anybody knows about air
Ninja
fryers,
Cream.
I feel like this is gonna pop off in the Discord if we talk about air fryers in the Discord.
Ninja cream. God, that's my OnlyFans handle.
But that's a great way to zoom out too, is to like pick up a hobby. So I've been making, as a lot of you know, I've made my own aura spray, which is very delicious and wonderful. You can check out queenherby.com
Tastes
for
fantastic.
that. But I've been like, let me make some lip balm. I tried eyeliner. That was challenging.
Oh, those were nice though. You showed me those.
And
You
the
got your
whole
necklaces?
goal is to make like purely organic stuff, which is difficult. There's not that many organic ingredients that have the staying power for
Right.
makeup. But skincare is easy. You're like, oh, we're gonna just be beautiful blends of different oils and different like cetyl alcohol and cetyl alcohol are super bomb in lotions. And then we just got a little baggie of hydrolonic acid.
Woo.
I said that really wrong.
Hydrolonic.
It's like hyaluronic or something.
Hydrolonic.
But it's really good stuff. It's what makes the moisture stay inside of your skin.
Oh, so that's the moisturizer then?
It's a expensive, very effective ingredient that you can add.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our zoom out is go to Nebraska, make lotion, and I don't know, allow yourself to change
Allow.
into this new fucking thing and
Take a fucking break.
don't be attached to how you used to be, because it's just going to take longer
Yeah.
to
And
transform.
there has been something for us changing a lot too, because we're really actually doing the things in our actual daily life for the last like year or two, and it still takes a long time. So look, if we've been doing something one way, and you've been doing that for 20 years,
Right.
then it's going to take longer than a week for you to break that habit.
Right. To
Probably
transition.
took 20
yeah.
years for you to make it. So.
Yep.
But yeah, we're kind of just in that weird little fucking self-observation, because it's habits. It's
Yeah.
habits.
Yeah.
It's all fucking habits. To me, at least. It's
And to
all
be
fucking
fair,
habits.
if you've been going through something similar, the Earth's frequency has changed, right? So come on, like there's larger things going on, I'm sure. We're
Yeah.
ever since like the universe began, it's just been expanding. And we just have never been here before. That's what's kind of amazing about it. So meditation has been really helpful lately to like slow it down, because your mind starts to race when you're not zoomed out, when you're like zoomed in too far and you start like losing perspective.
Exactly. It's a loss of perspective for me.
Yeah.
And so that's what you have to, I got to just stop and just fucking zoom the fuck out and be like, what's going on here?
The
What-
bigger
what am I-
picture is some guys went down to see the Titanic.
I
Like
know.
there's so much going on.
Jesus.
And
Yeah.
like to even think that you could go down that far into the ocean, like that's so dangerous.
You know who wasn't in that submersive though?
Who?
A woman.
See, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's a great point.
Right.
But it's like, don't like well, do whatever you want. That's actually the point, right?
Know, I mean, they were all.
But if you zoom out, like you could, like anything. I was asking today, like what happens if the sun explodes? And you said we have 8 minutes. Not to give everyone a panic attack who's listening to this podcast.
Said that so fast too. Well, we have 8 minutes.
Well, yeah, right. It's so.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that would work, but we have 8 minutes. The speed of light.
Yeah.
Travels from us to Earth.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, us to the sun in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But there are some studies that do say it's instantaneous too. Some studies are saying that like photons move in. It's a lot.
Photographs?
We can't get into it today. There's certainly not enough time.
Let's call Neil deGrasse Mike Tyson.
Oh my God, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Wouldn't he be so fun to have on the podcast?
Yeah.
What would we ask him?
You want to do some acid?
We'll just have him do acid with us on the podcast.
Just freaking out.
You heard it here first. Oh man, I wish. No, I think our.
Wish? Did you just say I wish?
I wish. Can you? We just have everybody do. I wouldn't be able to do that much acid. That's too much.
Would that be a fun thing to do though? Like, be like, okay, on this episode, we're going to show you the live effects of acid.
Right.
I don't know if I would do. Well.
It would be a bitch to edit because it's a 12-hour trip. So no, maybe you don't want that.
Just let it roll. It's like Big Brother.
We do 12 weeks of episodes to be continued. Next, Alex just comes on the mic. He's like, and now we're stopping.
Truman Show.
So tune in.
I would actually, I would probably do a podcast on acid. I would probably do a podcast on shrooms.
Well, it would be so hard to
but it would have to
keep your mouth in front of the microphone. I would want to like stretch. I would feel like stuck. Yeah.
Well, it would have to come down and it would also be fairly like, I don't know. It would be pretty intense. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it would be kind of like a, I don't know if it would be
Nick
received.
Would be doing workouts.
Well, I don't know if the energy would be received the same, not in the room or not, or
That's
via,
fair.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could always try.
Always
but
try.
It
doesn't have
might
to be
come
released.
across very like a little strong.
Yeah, yeah.
A little too strong.
A little strong there, buddy.
A little bit.
Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah.
Zoom
No,
out.
I don't think we need to subject everyone to that experience.
We can do an edibles one.
Yes. Just remember, use safely and responsibly.
Yes.
And we're
Not for
not
everybody.
promoting anything here at all. But it's, it is fascinating to watch. And I think because culture has suppressed these things like psychedelics have been so suppressed that it's like we don't understand them. We don't quite understand them. Somebody had recapped a story about their friends using mushrooms in high school or something. Mm-hmm. And like one friend had a great experience and the other one had like a terrifying experience. And I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Not everybody is ready for this or open to the experience. Yep. Especially with mushrooms, like if you close yourself off to it, like if you try to fight it, it's going to be a bad trip.
So this is what we've heard from everybody.
I'm pretty uncomfortable on mushrooms. Like if I took too much, I'm afraid that I would have a bad trip.
I've never done the ego melt on shrooms, but supposedly what everybody
have
says
you been uncomfortable on them? No.
What do you mean by uncomfortable?
No, so you're not. So you'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. I think. No, I don't think I've ever been like uncomfortable. I get a lot of energy and I have to like move and I have to like.
That seems to be a theme for you.
Go like run around. Yeah, everything's a fucking upper to
Don't
me.
give Nick anything because he's going to go crazy.
I should never do cocaine. But if you ever do psychedelics and you get to that point where it starts potentially being scary, the key supposedly is to surrender to it. Again, like fucking everything in life. Allow it. Stop trying to fight it. Right. Surrender to it. And then it's going to be this euphoric experience. But what happens to bad trips is that you resist and you try to, try to stop it.
Kind of like a metaphor for life.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. But again, easier said than done.
Right. I mean, we literally are talking about Zoom out episode. Like
because we were too zoomed in.
We were too zoomed in. Like, and zooming in is, to me, it's constricting. And it's like.
It's this. It's more like limiting.
Yeah. You're getting smaller. You're contracting.
Yes. You're contracting. It's more like tighter grip. And then you'll be like, oh, no. Come on, man.
So all of life.
I want to be flexible.
So maybe that's like
I want to get, you know what I mean? I want to stretch out my lumbar.
Yeah. And it's weird because being creative does take focus, but you have to have that balance of like letting go too.
And that's, So a lot of things like when I'm producing and shit, there's a distinct switch in me between left and right brain, between like engineering brain, like having to actually like record the vocal, make sure your input is good, push the buttons, make sure it's in the right place. You got this on, you got to, put the plugins, versus creatively making adjustments to the song or to the whatever.
Making larger decisions. Like if you just got done punching the buttons and I'm like, let's change the key by 2 whole steps. You're like, like
that's fine. That's still, to me, that's still punching the buttons.
But you have to zoom out quite a lot to make that choice before you go back to the buttons.
Okay, sometimes, yeah. It's like it's become easier, but in the beginning I would get angry because I couldn't do it. And it was too much, and it would cause like so much frustration for me.
I wonder why that happens with me when we write a project and then we finish recording and then we're like, okay, now we have to make content and let people know about it. Those feel like 2 brains to me.
That's what yeah. But you know what? It's still, I want to try to train our brains.
We should try to make them the same.
Totally. It's writing. It's writing. I think writing is the through line for that. Like it's creativity in writing. So it's still being used all the time.
Right. But we still do have to like get the camera settings and do all these things.
Yeah, exactly.
There are particulars. Like today we were driving around LA looking for a place to film, and then we were like, it's so bright outside. It's all going to look like horse shit.
Let's get a sandwich.
The sun is, let's get a sandwich. It's like, and there it is. So that was the surrender.
Yeah.
So we focus, and we let go.
We still tried. Yeah. We gave it a valiant effort.
Elizabeth Gilbert says this so well, and I talk about this book constantly, but Big Magic. She is like, you literally have to like romance the muse to come in. And I think that's what this feeling is of like focusing, setting your space up, like having the respect for your own creative genius to waltz into the room in her dress and give you something. It's not going to be every day. And you have to surrender to that. Even some people, like, you have to get to several jobs to support your creative thing. It's like, I love the way she describes that. She's like, you're lucky if you have enough spare time to be creative. Yeah. Like that, everything you do, which includes working jobs to support it, should be for your art.
Yeah.
Because we need your art. That's ultimately what it is.
I like your eyeshadow.
Thank you. See, the first time I get a compliment.
What?
On my eyeshadow all day. I spent so much time on this eyeshadow look.
You had glasses on.
That's true. But what about my earrings? Those are great.
Those are fucking great. Did you make those?
Yeah.
Did you really?
I made it.
Oh my God.
Are they loud?
No, they're not bad. It's actually nice. It's kind of a little ASMR-y.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You should do an ASMR.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It sounds like beads.
Ooh.
We just turned this into an ASMR.
In my headphones, that was nice.
We're like, and zoom out.
It sounds like balls.
Dude, beads are so soothing. We should do some ASMR videos of beads.
We should.
I think we should do that.
You should.
Yeah, I will.
I'll record it.
Next time I have time, extra time. Yeah, wow. Being a creative person and being able to zoom out is super, super clutch.
Because the hardest part for me is it's the last thing you want to do. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're in it and you've had a couple good days or it's been like a week or something and you're some major project or you're excited about it. You're just fucking into what you're doing.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is kind of like come out of the vortex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes it takes energy to get back in.
Yeah.
But so you don't want to like lose it. But as a result, you grind it into the fucking ground.
Exactly.
And it becomes not good.
Right.
You're tired or, you just need to break. You need to look at the big picture.
I wonder if there's like a we could name a day in this country where like people are able to like discern in their bodies when they're burnt out or when they need to zoom out. Like, can't you just take a day off for that?
Yeah. I mean, we have a weekend.
Right.
Supposedly.
Right.
You know, that's for like, that's that.
But that's when you have to like go to Costco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's when you gotta do everything else.
It's like a real thing.
No, modern
laundry.
life,
it's like, okay, but
modern life feels like, and I think we're starting to see some like corrections a little bit, but modern life seems like kind of insane.
Yeah. Good word.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all running around and consuming information and we're all addicted to these.
Right.
We're addicted. Everything we do, this is too good.
You know what I noticed?
I'm holding my phone.
Every thought that I have, I'm like, oh, I could Google that, or I should look that up.
It's everything.
Like, And I do. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not.
It's where I learn. It's where I entertain. Yeah. It's where I have emails. It's where I call. It's
and
where
it
text.
only happened like 5 years ago. I remember the switch. We were staying in another part of town in that other house. And I was like, is this happening?
Yeah.
It was a noticeable thing
but it's
for
like
me.
Everybody. So it's not like nobody's talking about it.
The young kids listening to this probably didn't notice it because you were so young. It just happened in your life.
We were lucky enough to kind of our childhood.
We were raised without the shit.
We did not have phones.
That makes us sound old, but it's like kind of.
But it wasn't that long ago.
Cool. Like I like not having.
It was amazing.
Had it our whole lives because it's just different. It hits different.
It'll be easier for us to notice when that relationship is like out of whack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like now at night, I'm like I actively don't look at it for a couple hours.
For sure. Same.
Wow.
If I ever don't respond to you.
Yeah.
Anywhere, phone, Instagram, wherever, because I'm probably like just trying not to look at it.
Yeah.
If it's not urgent or whatever.
Did you guys have, when you were growing up, I was talking to my sister the other day and I was like, oh my God, do you remember the days when to know what the weather was going to be, you'd have to call a phone number like from your landline and hear like a thing be like, the high today is 78 degrees.
I remember.
Vaguely.
Like, wow.
Vaguely.
And I loved to do that. That was like my thing.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Like, well, it's supposed to rain today.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Alex, the weather guy.
Yeah.
That's how you knew it before internet.
That's so wild.
Totally.
That's so wild.
Does anybody remember the dial-up sounds?
Of course. People still use those for memes and stuff.
Do you remember your landline phone numbers from when you were growing up?
Yeah.
I do too.
You will never forget the landline phone number. Yeah.
I don't think
my parents got rid of theirs like years ago, and I was
So
shook
did
when
mine.
I was like, it was like the end of an era.
Yeah.
I felt the same way.
I was like, this needs to be recorded in a book somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was so serious.
Scrapbooking?
So, wow.
What's that about?
You took it there. No, my mom still scrapbooking.
No, you know what? And I value that. So does your sister.
Oh,
we have those, and it's pretty cool.
Does everybody have one person in their family that handles the photos? It's you, isn't it?
Fucking
God
responsible
damn it,
Alex.
Tis I.
Tis I.
It's
Yeah, my
man.
sister does a great job with those.
Yeah.
And then my mom, of course, is just like made these beautiful, stunning scrapbooks of our entire childhoods.
Some of them
super
are
cool.
only pictures of things that we couldn't find anywhere else were in the scrapbook.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is actually kind of useful right now.
That's when I got that Whitney Houston album for my seventh grade birthday.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very exciting.
It's old school.
But it is fun, like when I'm feeling nostalgic, or if during a weekend, sometimes if I'm sitting and not looking at my phone, I'm like, well, what else can I do? What else can you do with your attention?
Yeah.
That was weird when I thought about that.
Yeah.
You can literally like move your body, right? Which we feel like we have to go to a gym for. It's not true. You can move your body in your house. You feel like a crazy person just standing in your fucking living room, like moving your body, dancing. Like I'm supposed to be a dancer. Yeah. So I was like, well, why don't, instead of working out, maybe I should just like dance around the living room. Isn't that why? It's wild to think about, but
I'm getting a whole TikTok series idea.
Oh, great.
We're just like frantically doing this and just singing the songs
in the living room with our new camera techniques.
Naked.
But we're zooming out. It's a zoom out episode.
Zoom out, everybody.
Let's
Put
make
your feet up.
Before we let you go today, let's make a short list of things we can do without our phones and see if, because we used to do the act of kindness. Mm-hmm. We used to do the random act of kindness challenge on this podcast, and a lot of y'all submitted stories about your AOKs, and it was
great,
cool to hear.
Yeah.
So let's do a little challenge in the House of Herby community where we are going to put our phones down, even if it's for 20 minutes, babe. 30 minutes. I don't know how badly you're addicted, but
I'll use my phone to set a timer.
Okay, no. Actually, you can, because then when it goes off, you can pick it up and look back at your, messages or whatever. But what if we go a whole hour? What activities can we do not on our phone? This should be easy to answer.
Sex.
Our grandparents would say baking.
Yep.
Go for a walk.
Birth.
That's probably not one.
Probably any kind of...
That takes more than an hour. I've heard.
Probably like hugging.
Hugging is,
for an hour.
Alex seems interested. Yeah, I just gotta be real. I feel
are you gonna brush your teeth before this hug session?
Are you gonna sync your heartbeats?
Last time was pretty awful.
I feel like you sketch or draw.
Yes, I love doing drawings. If
I'll make some music, bro.
That's on a computer, so that doesn't count.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a screen.
And Nick also watches TV, which doesn't count.
I love to go for a run.
You do. I will give you that.
Yeah, we were on a bike for the first time in a while.
That was really fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah. No, we were riding bikes around Venice, and I was like, maybe I like it.
Maybe I'll steal this bike.
And mine was an electric bike.
Mm-hmm.
It was
What does that mean?
Basically, there's a motor, and so you can have it off, but you can also flick it on to like whatever level you want, and then if you pedal, it pushes you.
Oh, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hardly had to work hard at all. It's my favorite. But yeah, of course, you could go somewhere. You could walk or take a drive somewhere because that's not a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could. I give you haircuts. That's usually not.
Every night.
We're not looking at a screen. But it's
Just keeps getting shorter and shorter.
your haircut requires like maintenance.
Oh, you got to focus. You know what I'm saying?
You give me like electric knives in my hand, and I cut your hair with it. Clippers.
We have the world's first lightsaber. We use it for haircuts.
We use laser
We call
precision.
it the electric knife.
Okay, let's see. You can go to the grocery store. That's not screens. Hate going to the grocery store so
you could
much.
take a really long time eating an apple.
Yes.
Oh, slowly eating the apple while looking out the window.
Yep.
Okay.
Take a bath.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Go for a swim.
Go for a
Yeah.
swim.
I feel like we're playing Family Feud.
Yeah.
Go. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
Hot tubbing.
Yeah. Well, we know
You
you can
can
do
say it.
sexual things. You can do
Go
sexual
hot tubbing.
things, but no screens.
Go check out the Titanic. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So there's so many things.
Obviously.
No, you know what it is?
You know, I
It's
love
just-
crafts. So if you're finding it hard to separate yourself from your screen time, I would recommend you grab yourself some crafty shit to do, even if it's some bullshit, like a coloring book. Like pretend you're 8 years old. Just do it for like 20 minutes to 30 minutes a day. See if it improves your zoom out capabilities. Because I think as a creative, if you're focused as a creative, congratulations. Like that's hard to do. But if you're anything like us, you need some times where you just don't do anything.
And to be super clear, it's the best,
It is.
right? We're bitching, but like not really, because we understand that this is exactly what we want to be doing.
Yep.
But it's like eating. It's like, what's your favorite food? Okay.
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Now imagine you're eating macaroni and cheese 3 times a day for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to start to not like mac and cheese very much.
It would take a while, but I would definitely eventually not want
But
it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the concept. Like
Yeah.
you just, anything that you take that you love so much and then make it, what you do, there's going to be, you're going to develop a relationship with it. And like anything, you're going to need to have some space and zoom out.
Yeah. Zoom out. That's our biggest
Give
piece,
it some space,
piece
babe.
of advice. If you also, what's nice about podcasts is that you don't have to look at a screen either. You can just pull up the audio and have it playing.
True.
While you're in your coloring book, while you're like, I've heard people love to listen to our podcast when they're like stretching or, winding down for the day.
I love I'm a night stretcher.
Man, it's just nice. It's just nice to be around people like you and vibing and
You guys are fucking great.
Yeah.
You really are. There are so many wonderful, high vibrational people and messages and all the stuff that we receive. It's pretty, it's very,
That's
what's
why
the
we're
word?
still doing this without the penis enlargement pills.
Yeah.
ads.
Well, one of us.
It's why we're still doing it, because
Yeah.
we're like, this is really rewarding and it's so important to feel like you belong somewhere. Like that's really the essence of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we creating things? So that other people can enjoy them?
Yeah.
We enjoy them too.
Yeah, we enjoy it too. And you learn about yourself. You know what I mean? If you are willing to open yourself up to it and kind of have that expression or that freedom to do it, then you learn a lot about yourself. But it can also mean that it can be scary. And you learn about yourself then too when it's scary and overcoming all that shit. So I think it's either way you shake a stick at it, it's a positive place to be.
It really
you know
is.
what I'm saying?
It really is.
And it's a reminder that you like it.
Yeah.
You like this. You're having fun.
So as your solid midway point through the year 2023, we hope
Yeah.
that this episode,
Everybody's doing a great
Hey,
fucking job.
it's time to zoom out.
chill chill for fucking 20 seconds. You're doing fucking great.
You're doing fucking great.
We're going to make it.
Continue to encourage you. If any of these hacks of this episode have helped you today on your creative journey, feel free to listen to it again. Feel free to pass it on to another creative that you know could benefit from this. Feel free to leave us a rating or a review.
Feel free to send us a McFlurry.
Oh.
Oreo.
That's the only flavor they have actually at our McDonald's.
Is it really?
Yeah.
They don't have M&M?
No.
Oh, wow.
I know they were like, it's this only, you don't have to say Oreo. It's like the only one.
Is it really?
I think so.
Wow.
We'll have to go later to check.
Yeah.
But we do love you so deeply and tremendously. We need your art, and we continue to pop it off in the Discord. If you're interested in going deeper with us in the House of Herby, we do have a Patreon. It's $5 a month, and we just do a little bit of extra shit. And it's a place where we can connect with you directly, like I said, through the Discord and all the comment pages. So I guess we'll see you next week, y'all.
Love you, mean it.